Okay, so for debugging, I go to debug and press step over. Can everybody see that? Debug and step over. Can't press F10 because we're recording. And let's see, it should come up here. Yeah, there we go. So notice, can everybody see this yellow arrow? Hello, can you everybody see this arrow? So, and then if I do step over again, it'll move one step. See? So you move to this one. Now I'm ready to call the constructor with argument of 2.1 and 3.1. So if I go to the next step, do step into, then it's supposed to go inside the constructor that I'm calling. So do that, and notice all of a sudden I shifted to this other class, squares and cubes 2. And if I put my mouse on edge, can everybody see the value 2.1? Right? And if I put on den, can everybody see value 3.1? And A right now will be 0. Can everybody see 0.0 bubble? And density will be 0.0 because over here they are set to 0 automatically. You don't really have to do anything. But if I do step over again, oh wait a minute, why did it go there? Oh, okay. So it actually already set these two. See, it set edge to 2.1 and density to 3. Oh, it didn't do that. Okay, well let's keep going then. Let's keep doing step over and see where we end up with. Step over. Yeah, now it's going to do that. Okay. Step over. So A is set to same value that edge is, 2.1, 2.1. And if I do step over again, then density will be set. Step over. Now density is set to 3.1 also. Okay. So that's how the constructors work, that I'm calling here with these two values. Those are passed to the class, and whatever value is here is A is set to that, whatever value is here, density is set to that. And the job of constructor is over. Your object has been constructed and is stored. Object is stored here. Okay. Now I want to print that. So it already has a method called getAreaOfSquare. So at that time this method will be called, and A was already 2.1, so it's going to do square of 2.1 and return that. So let's look at that. And actually I'm still here, so let's keep doing the step over. And again step over. If you put your mouse in there, you can click here to expand and see the data members. Can everybody see that? So once the constructor call is over, you can take the object that is there, click on the plus sign, and it's showing A equal to 2.1 that you sent earlier, and density equal to 3.1 that you sent earlier. And of course these were constants, so those are already there. Okay. Now I'm line 5, which prints, but here also I'm making a method call. So I can do step into there as well. And notice it jumped to this piece of code here on line 40 in the class squares and cubes 2. And A is already 2.1 because it's looking at this A over here, which is 2.1, and multiply it by that. So it will just do this math over here. So keep step over and keep step over. And it's almost finished here. And it's here. So once I go past this, do one more step over, my console will pop up and it'll get printed to the console. And if it didn't pop up, it's right here actually. There you go. So it printed that. So program is over now. So that's how the debugger works. It's a very useful thing if you're writing long programs. Here I just showed you how the constructor is called and how this method that we wrote works using the debugging process. Okay. Any questions on how constructor works and how the methods inside the class that are not shared method? We didn't have word shared for that, remember? Those methods are called instance methods. Because I was able to call it using the instance of the class, sq1 dot. sq1 is the instance of the class. Using that, I was able to call that method. That's why it's called instance method. So shared method don't need an instance of a class. You can just use the class name dot the method name and call it. But the downside is you'll have to pass it argument. Instance method, you create instance using the constructor, but you just have to call constructor once. That's it. You can call all the instance method after that. Okay, cutting down duplication of the data supply. Okay, but it needs to create an object using the new, which we did over here. Okay, so with that in mind, I can quickly fill out the other methods, either here or through the diagrammer. Either way will work. So we're going to do that fairly fast. In fact, our class is over, right? 8:22. So we'll just stop here. I showed you how to use the diagrammer for writing the data members, constants, as well as one of the methods, and how to test them, constructor call and the method call. And we'll complete that next time, Thursday, and at that time we'll record it again if we have to. But for now, I think this is it. Thank you so much for listening, participating, and everything else. So we'll just, this recording was short, F10.